South Carolina, 1849. The morning fog rolled across the fields, like it was hiding something. Something no one was ready to see. The Calder estate had stood for generations. Unchanged, untouched, untouchable, until she walked in, not as a servant, not as property, but as Mrs. Eliza Calder. From the kitchen window, they froze. She really did it, because everyone in that house knew exactly who she used to be. And that made it worse. For 20 years, she had been invisible, listening, learning, watching. And now, she was walking across the same floor, like she owned it. Upstairs, Mr. Calder waited. Once feared, now uncertain. His hand rested on the banister, but it wasn't steady. "Would you like me to show you your room?" His voice, careful. Too careful. Eliza stopped, halfway up the stairs. Then slowly turned. "Our room. We're married now, aren't we?" Silence. Not loud, but heavy. Because in that moment, everyone felt it. Something had shifted. She stepped down. Closer. Not rushed. Not unsure. "I know this house. I know your debts. I know what keeps you awake at night." His face changed. Just slightly. But enough. Because she wasn't guessing. She was certain. "I've always been here," she said. "You just never noticed." That night, no one slept. Not because something happened, but because something had started. Quiet. Invisible. Unstoppable. Control. And no one yet understood how far she would go. The first move didn't happen in public. It happened at dinner. That night, the house was quieter than usual. Not peaceful. Careful. Eliza sat at the head of the table. Not because anyone told her to, but because no one stopped her. Mr. Calder noticed. Of course he did. But he said nothing, because something inside him was already unsure. Dinner was served. Roasted duck, bread, wine. Normal. Until she spoke. "Tell me about the Blackridge debt." His hand froze. Mid-air. The glass trembled slightly. "That's not something you need to worry about," he said. Too quickly. Eliza didn't react. Didn't argue. Didn't raise her voice. She simply cut her food. Then said, "It becomes my concern when it threatens this house." Silence again. But this time, it was sharper. "How do you even know about that?" he asked. That was the mistake. Because now, he had confirmed it. Eliza looked at him. Not proudly. Not aggressively. Like a teacher correcting a student. "I read everything," she said. "Every letter. Every ledger. Every conversation you thought I wasn't part of. You talked freely, because I wasn't supposed to matter." She leaned slightly forward. "And that was your first mistake." The candlelight flickered across the walls. Old portraits staring down. Witnessing something they had never seen before. "You missed 2 payments," she continued calmly. "The third is due in 9 days. And if you fail again, they take the land." Mr. Calder said nothing. Because there was nothing to deny. For the first time in years, someone else understood his situation. Completely. And worse, she understood it better than he did. Eliza stood, slowly, deliberately, and walked around the table. Each step quiet, controlled, unavoidable. She stopped beside him, close enough that he could feel it, the pressure. "You're not afraid of me," she said. "You're afraid of losing control." Her hand rested lightly on the table, not touching him. Not yet. And the truth is, you already have. His breathing changed, just slightly, but enough, because he felt it now. The shift, not forced, not taken, but slipping. "I can fix this," she said. Finally. Simple. Clear. That was the hook. Not threat. Not pressure. Solution. Mr. Calder looked up at her. And for the first time, there was something new in his eyes. Not authority. Not anger. Dependence. "What do you want?" he asked. Eliza didn't answer immediately. She let the silence sit. Let him feel it. Then she said, "I want this house to survive. And I want you to stop pretending you can do it alone." Another pause. Longer. "Tomorrow," she continued, "you'll take me to Charleston. I want to meet the people who think they own you." "That's not possible," he said. Too quickly again. Eliza smiled. Small. Controlled. "They don't need to accept me. They just need to understand me." And in that moment, something inside him shifted again. Because he realized, this wasn't a request. It was direction. And he was already following it. The next morning, everything changed. Not inside the house, but outside it. For the first time, Mr. Calder didn't leave alone. The carriage rolled toward Charleston, wheels cutting through wet dirt, silence filling the space between them. Eliza sat across from him, still, calm. Watching. Not nervous, not excited. Prepared. "You don't have to speak," she said quietly. "I'll handle it." That should have offended him. Once, it would have. But now, it felt like relief. Charleston was already awake when they arrived. Carriages, voices. Money moving behind closed doors. The kind of place where power wasn't shown. It was negotiated. They entered the Blackridge office. And the room changed. Men stopped talking. Not because of him. Because of her. A woman walking in beside a plantation owner. Not behind him. Mr. Blackridge looked up. Confused. Then annoyed. "I don't believe we conduct business this way," he said. Sharp. Dismissive. Eliza didn't react. Didn't argue. Didn't explain. She stepped forward. Placed a document on the desk. "Before we begin," she said calmly, "you should read this." He hesitated. Then picked it up. And everything changed. The confidence, gone. The tone, gone. Because the paper in his hands wasn't a contract. It was information. Names. Transactions. Secrets. The kind of things that weren't supposed to exist outside locked drawers. "Where did you get this?" he asked. Not angry anymore. Careful. Eliza tilted her head slightly. Almost curious. Does it matter? Silence. Heavy, because now he understood. This wasn't negotiation. This was positioning. You want new terms, he said slowly. Eliza smiled. Barely. You want to keep your reputation. Another pause. Longer this time. Then she stepped closer. Lowered her voice. We both get what we want. Mr. Calder didn't speak. Didn't interrupt. Because he was watching something impossible. Not force. Not argument. Control. 10 minutes later, the deal was done. Extended terms. Reduced pressure. No questions asked. As they walked out, no one stopped them. No one spoke. Because everyone in that room knew something had just happened. Something they didn't understand. Outside, the air felt different. Lighter. Mr. Calder finally spoke. How did you do that? Eliza didn't answer immediately. She let the moment sit. Then, I paid attention. For years. She looked at him. Direct. You called it survival. I turned it into power. That was the moment. The real one. Because now, he understood something deeper. She wasn't helping him. She was replacing him. And the strangest part, he wasn't resisting anymore. As the carriage rolled back toward the estate, he sat in silence. Not thinking about the debt. Not thinking about the risk. Only one thing. If she could do that, out there, what would she do next, back home? When they returned, the house was waiting. Not the same house. Not anymore. Because something had changed. Not in the walls. Not in the rooms. In the air. The servants felt it first. The moment the carriage stopped. They didn't ask what happened. They didn't need to. Because they saw it in the way he stepped down. Slower. Quieter. Following. Eliza walked ahead, not looking back, not checking. She already knew. Inside, she didn't sit, didn't rest. She called them, all of them. The cook, the butler, the house staff. They gathered in the main room, confused. Uneasy. Because this had never happened before. Eliza stood in front of them, still, controlled. I won't pretend nothing has changed, she said. No speech, no softness. Just truth. You all know who I was. And you all see where I stand now. Eyes shifted. No one spoke. Because no one knew how to respond. I don't expect loyalty to this house, she continued. I expect loyalty to what we're building. That word, building, hung in the air. Because it meant something new. No more punishments without reason. No more families separated. No more decisions made in silence. The room froze. Not from fear, from disbelief. Because this wasn't power, as they knew it. This was something else. Structure. Martha stepped forward first, slow, careful. Ma'am, what are you asking from us? Eliza didn't hesitate. Trust, and attention. Because things are going to change. And I need people who understand before others do. That was it. No threats, no force. But somehow, it was stronger than both.
One by one, they nodded, not because they were told to, because they believed her. From across the room, Mr. Calder watched, silent, still, because he realized something. She wasn't taking control. She was creating it, and he was no longer at the center of it. Later that night, in the study, he finally spoke. "This isn't just about the house anymore, is it?" Eliza looked at him, calm, certain. "It never was." She stepped closer. Not threatening, not soft, final. "You were trying to hold everything together," she said. "And it was falling apart. I'm not holding it together, I'm rebuilding it." Silence, long. Because now, he could see it, not just what she had done, but what she was about to do next. "And where do I fit?" he asked quietly. That question mattered. Because it wasn't resistance anymore, it was positioning. Eliza didn't answer right away. She let him wait. "Then, that depends on whether you keep pretending, or finally decide to follow." His breath caught. Just slightly. Because deep down, he already knew the answer. He just hadn't said it yet. And she was waiting, for him to say it.
That night, everything finally broke. Not loudly. Not violently. Quietly. In a room with no witnesses, Mr. Calder stood in front of her. Still trying to hold on to something. Not power. Not pride. Identity. "This isn't how it's supposed to be," he said. More to himself than to her. Eliza didn't interrupt. Didn't correct him. She just watched. Because she knew. This moment mattered. "I was raised to lead," he continued. "To decide. To carry everything." His voice weakened. Just slightly. "And now, I don't even recognize myself." Silence. Heavy. Eliza stepped closer. Slow. Measured. "You're not losing yourself," she said. "You're finally seeing who you are without the illusion." That word, illusion, hit harder than anything else. Because deep down, he knew it was true. The control. The authority. The certainty. None of it had ever been real. Just inherited. And now, for the first time, it was gone. "What do you want from me?" he asked. Not resisting. Not arguing. Ready. Eliza looked at him. Not cold. Not cruel. Certain. "I want you to stop pretending you're in control. And start choosing who should be." The room went still. Time stretched. Because this was it. Not forced. Not demanded. A choice. His choice. His breathing slowed. His shoulders dropped. And then, without being told, he stepped forward and lowered himself. Not rushed. Not hesitant. Deliberate. The moment his knees touched the floor, something inside him shifted. Not broken. Released. Because for the first time, he wasn't carrying everything anymore. Eliza didn't smile. Didn't celebrate. She simply looked down at him, acknowledging it. "Good," she said softly. Not victory. Not dominance. Confirmation. From that night on, Everything moved differently. Decisions went through her. Plans started with her. The house ran because of her. And the strangest part, no one questioned it. Not the servants. Not the neighbors. Not even him. Because results don't argue. They convince. Weeks passed. Then months. And slowly, the story spread. A woman who walked into a system and didn't fight it. She understood it. And rewrote it. People whispered. Some with fear. Some with curiosity. But everyone paid attention. Because deep down, they all felt it. If it could happen there, it could happen anywhere. And somewhere, in another house, another woman was watching, listening, learning, waiting. Because power, once understood, doesn't stay contained. It spreads. And this was only the beginning.